What is the best training split for women? I'm Rachel, personal trainer and online coach. Over the last 6 years, I've helped countless women get fit, strong, lose body fat, get in incredible shape, and build confidence. And a question I get asked all the time is, what should my training look like? What should my sessions look like? How often should I be going to the gym? What's the best workout split? Should you do full body, push-pull legs, upper lower, body part splits? Should you do what your boyfriend does? And the truth is, it depends. And that's not me being vague. It depends really on two very specific things. First of all, what's your goal? And secondly, what time availability do you have to train? It is pointless me telling you what is the optimal training split to do if you haven't got time to do it. So let's break it down so that you know exactly how you can start structuring your week. So an option I absolutely love, and I stand by this regardless of the time availability you have. I think it's a great approach for so many women, and it's how I train a lot myself and have done over the years. And it's really suited to women who only have 2 to 3 days to train. And that is full body training. That way you are hitting multiple muscle groups a week without leaving anything behind. You're getting the frequency, you're getting the volume, and it's also condensed into those 2 to 3 days. Ideally as well, you're going to have rest in between those when you're training. If it's 3 days a week, that will facilitate full body training, so you've got that recovery time. If you've got 4 days, then an upper lower split can work well. Unless you're prepared to do, say, 4 full body, but it's going to vary week to week. So it might be Monday, Wednesday, Friday, Sunday, 1 week, Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday, into then the Monday. That you're in a continuous. It's not really a week's training. It's a continuous thing where you've always got a day off in between. That can work really well. But 4 days, ideally, for most people, again, it's upper lower. Because again, you are getting 2 full upper, 2 full lower. You're getting the rest in between, rest and recovery. You're getting the frequency and the volume. There's also nothing to stop you if you've got 4 days to train. You can still do 3 full body and have a 4th day that is specific. You can have a 4th day, and I say specific as in working on a specific muscle group, a weakness, a lagging body part. A 4th day to work on conditioning, cardio, endurance, whatever. And if you've got 5 days, again, you might choose to do 3 full body. You might choose to do 2 upper, 2 lower, and then your other days are your specific cardio days. So this is why it's also goal dependent. So for me at the minute, I have both a strength goal and a fitness goal. So even though I have the capability to train and the willingness to train 6 days a week, I'm currently doing 2 to 3 strength, 2 to 3 cardio days, and then rest, and it's dependent. I'm in a new training phase with my coach. At the minute, I'm actually doing, in my initial phase, I'm doing 2 strength, 2 cardio, and then like a Metcon kind of day. So it can look very different depending on, and this is why it's so specific to your goals as well. But the mistake with this that a lot of women make is they overcomplicate it. And, yes, I'm giving you multiple options here because there are a variety of options. But they start thinking, well, this is how my boyfriend trains, or this is what my partner used to train like, or, I've seen that these people on Instagram do 6-7 days a week and it's a body part split. Should I be doing that? If you've not got the time to dedicate that to, you can't facilitate that into your week. And also, I'd argue it's not the most optimal way to train. If you're only training 1 muscle group a week, but then you miss that day, what happens then? This is why as well, the more training days that you have, like if you've got 2 upper days or you've got 3 full body days, if you miss a day, you're still getting a good balance over the week. So it suits the everyday person like us that isn't a pro athlete, that isn't just paid to work out, or that isn't, like I say, one of these Instagram people. If you've got a busy life and things are going to get in the way of your training from time to time, then you need to make it as simple as possible. And I mean, simple isn't boring, basic, something that just beginners need to do. Everybody needs to make it as simple as possible for their lifestyle and their routine. Now, when I'm talking about frequency and volume and spreading that out across the week, that's based on the science behind muscle growth, that we need 10 to 20 sets, hard sets, per muscle group per week. Now, if you're new to this, you need that at the lower end, like 8 to 10 is sufficient. If you're more advanced, you're probably going to need more sets in order to elicit the response required. So if you can spread those sets out across the week, if you just got 10 sets to achieve over 3 sessions, that's going to be a lot more manageable than trying to cram it into one day. Or if you've got 20 sets you need to achieve over the week, it's going to be more manageable than just over one day. And it's also, I think, going to be easier to go harder when you are spreading that load out throughout the week. You're not relying all on one day and expecting to achieve that level of push that you need to do in those sets. We're talking getting within a few reps close to failure. There's going to be periods of training where you're not going to be doing that as much, but focusing on working hard is going to be easy when that's spread out across the week. Now, the 10 to 20 sets per muscle group per week is focused a little bit on growth, and I'm talking about growth when we're thinking about toning muscles. I'm not telling you you're going to get super big, but when you want to look toned and lean and defined and all these things, that's what we're going to be looking at. However, if we're looking at also just general strength and improving that in the gym, you maybe don't need quite as many sets, but you're still going to want to structure some of that in throughout your training cycles. And for, to build more strength, we're maybe not going as close to failure. We're maybe not pushing as hard in that sense, but our loads are generally going to be a little bit heavier. We're going to have to rest a bit more. And again, that's going to benefit from having evenly distributed across the week. And if you want a little bit of both, and this is how I train often, where you're doing some strength work, but you're also doing some hypertrophy work, which is the muscle building, you can do both of those things in a session. So again, you want to balance that throughout the week. You want your rest and recovery, because that's actually where the progress happens. So full body or upper lower is often the optimal way to go. And I've touched on it a bit there a few times. Rest and recovery. It isn't just about what the optimal split is. It's what's the thing that you can recover from. If you have a really busy life, a lot of stress, if you've got a family, if you're sleep deprived, things are going on, it's going to be harder to recover between sessions. So you don't need to add more in, try and push yourself to do more sessions. You actually need to reduce some of that training volume so that you're able to recover from the training that you do and still see the benefit of it. Again, as women, we often think, more is better. I'll do more. I'll get a better result. I'll get up even earlier and I'll go to the gym. It's not always what's optimal to get the result that you want. We want rest, recovery, good sleep. We want to lower inflammation in the body. We want to give our body a chance to be fueled, be hydrated, be rested to go again. So fundamentally, the best training split for women is the one that you can stick to consistently, make progress on, recover well from, that you enjoy. So keep it simple, keep it consistent, measure your progress, track your lifts, and that's how you will get strong, how you'll build muscle. And if paired with the appropriate nutritional strategy, you will drop body fat and look the way that you want to look. I hope that helps. If you want more information on what's going to work for you, drop me a message on Instagram with FSF and let's have a chat about your specific circumstances. Also, check out my guide on the 6 key exercises that I think everybody should be doing in the gym at some point. And I'll see you in the next video.